All right, what is up, my friends? We are back for another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel. Big man to the bottom is Mr. Ben Troupe, and our guest for this afternoon is the one and only tight end, Mr. Marcus Pollard, 14-year veteran. Played at a bunch of different locations, and is currently involved in some front office work down there in Jacksonville. First and foremost, Marcus, absolutely pleasure having you all. Appreciate your time this afternoon, my friend.
Absolutely. Appreciate you reaching out. I'm excited to be on. It's been a minute since I've done some broadcast stuff, so I'm excited about today, man.
Well, I mean, I always try to find some unique guests, some people that have been involved in the sport. Me and Ben like to mix it up with a little bit of everybody. So came across your name. I was like, hey, let's see what Marcus is doing this week. So again, appreciate the time. I'm gonna let Ben kick this one off, and I know he's excited to catch up with you. So I'll let him get his time in right here.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, first and foremost, Marcus, man, I apologize for this being the first time we ever spoke. When you were a young tight end, I remember you was with the Colts my rookie year. You be wanting to go up. It's almost like you be wanting to say, "Man, am I allowed to talk to Marcus?" Like, yeah, but then you reach out. You at that point you walking out. But to your time in the league, I mean, playing for different organizations, how much did playing for the Colts help you play for these others? Because people always say, man, it's usually
America rules, and so does real American beer. Get some.
Oh, there we go. So,
what happened there? My bad, guys.
But nah, when you were with the Colts, how much did that help you when you moved on to like the Falcons and other teams you end up playing for?
Yeah, I think early in my career, I think me being a former basketball player, coaches really took me by the hand. Some of my older teammates, Tony Bennett, Jason Belzer, some of the older guys who took me by the hand and showed me what it meant to be a pro. So then came, myself and Peyton and Tarek Glenn and having Tony Dungy kind of influence. It made that transition from moving to Indy, although it was hard when I left, but made that transition a lot smoother for me moving to other teams and knowing how to move. Because sometimes you go in the locker room and they're looking at you sideways like, hey, bro, you new here. You don't just come here and run stuff. And so you have to figure out how to move. And having the experience I did in Indy all those years taught me how to move when I went to other locker rooms.
I mean, and obviously, when you play with you talk about a guy. I think you played with him. You played with him twice. Ben Hartstock, we both got drafted in 2004. Then you end up going to Atlanta, and I played with B Hart when he came over to the Titans, and I think that the tight end brotherhood, they don't understand it. It's gotten a lot better now with tight end. You were what George Kittle does with Travis Kelce and Greg Olsen. Could you imagine us having something like that when you came to the league to where, man, we got a tight end retreat? Because people think it's about the X and O. Sometimes we just sit down saying, all right, man, how you play 10 years? How do you get used to being a role player but embrace that role? It's because people think you're a role player. Yeah, but the best teams have the best role players. I get the best players. I get it. But the best team have unselfish role players that say, listen, man, you want to survive in this league? Anything they ask you to do. How would it have been, Marcus, had we had a tight end you back when we was playing, man?
Bruh, I'm telling you, BT, it would have been absolutely amazing to chop it up. Because when you talked about having the opportunity to come over and say hello to me, I had the same moment with Shannon Sharp. And I was like, oh, my God. Oh, I feel like such a dud going over here talking to Shay Shay. But, bruh, that meeting, I said, fuck it. Oh, I said, forget it. I'm going over. I'm going over to talk to Shannon and say what's up. And I ended up getting a picture with him. And we laugh about it to this day whenever I see him. But I took the opportunity to just say hello. To have an event like that with the tight ends, and even here working for the Jags, I have the closest bond, obviously because I played the position, but it's something about what we do and what we bring to a team. You mentioned having do some of the stuff that goes unnoticed. I like basketball, being a college basketball player. I've been watching the NBA. And Josh Hart, to me, for the Knicks, he's not.
Now Marcus is with the technical difficulties.
He'll be back. No, that's all good. I love the fact, Steven, how we beat. Listen, we get going, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's like tight end. For those of you who don't know, I want to say George Kittle lives in Nashville in the offseason. And he started a tight end U, like a tight end to where the top rookie tight ends, the veteran tight ends, they all come together. They all and there is no hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? And we all just out there doing well. I mean, I'm the scene. I mean, they go Travis Kelce, they go because Greg Olsen don't even play no more. You know what I'm saying? He helped start it, you know. And side note, I saw your Eagles. I saw they had OTAs. I'm like, oh God, it's none started. And I'm looking right, like I said, and why? And who the first person I see? Jordan Davis. Who the second person I see? So you know,
Marcus is back.
Yeah, Marcus back. Now go ahead. You go ahead. You were talking about I think you was in the middle of just talking about like the bond and just like or Josh Hart for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, so I just had an epiphany when I was watching you were talking about the tight end position and how sometimes we're used and doing the dirty work and, you know, having to be this versatile player between being an offensive lineman and being a receiver, sometimes having to carry the ball. I think our position is the most versatile position on a team. I'm a little bit biased in that, but that's just how I feel. But then when I look at, you know, we're talking about doing those intangibles. I love basketball, being a college basketball player. I look at Josh Hart for the Knicks. He's not a great basketball player, but he starts because he do the things that nobody else wants to do. He dives on the floor. He takes the best offensive player for the other team. He said the other night, listen, I don't have to start. I just want to win. Bring me off the bench. And when you can have a cohesive unit like that, and to me, I think it starts with a tight end, man, you got something special. And I mean, I would have loved to have an opportunity to meet and hang out with people like yourself, to meet and hang out with other tight ends around the league, just so we can top up ideas of how to stay in the league for 10 years, or how to be a better player, how to do blocking, how to run better routes. I just think it would have been a great opportunity to hang out with more.
I mean, I think that would be. Listen, if you already look around the league, you're already having guys do that. You already have the, you know, O-line Masterman, Lane Johnson, and all the offensive linemen get together. Not just the guys that are currently there, but even some of the young guys before they ever get into the league are going out to these retreats and doing that stuff. So I think like every position should have something like that where, you know, maybe somebody, one of the star quarterbacks, goes down real early in the season, completely blows out his knee, where they can have a retreat as he's getting better to kind of help get him back. Same thing should go for tight ends, for linebackers. You all should have like, I guess like a team president, so to speak. You know what I mean? Just the spokesperson be like, all right, like, listen, April 29th. to June, like June 7th, we gonna fly out to X, Y, and Z, and we gonna grind and get ready for the season.
They doing that now. I think it's at Lipscomb up there in Nashville. I think they're doing that. But I think the thing is, what Marcus is talking about is the fact that, man, when you're in the league, you just want to know, man, is it cool to go up to Shay Shay? Is it cool to go up to Tony G? Is it cool to go up to Algie Crumpler? Because what happens is when you meet them, like we meet each other, yeah, man, it was, but you don't know. The league is such a, man, stay focused on what you're doing. That now they do jersey swaps.
Yep.
Oh, they doing all kinds of stuff now. When you down there in Jacksonville, but the team that you played for, Tyler Warren, not you rooting for Tyler Warren as a tight end. You ain't rooting for him when he played the Jags. We get the difference. They let this youngin do everything at Penn State. They said, Tyler, what do you want to do this week? Do you want to run the ball? Do you want to throw it? Do you want to kick it? Have you ever seen a tight end coming out of college being utilized like a dude like Tyler Warren was?
I have not. I'm telling you, I was so impressed when I got a chance to watch some of his tape this year. When I tell you the kid can do it all, he's got a great body, got a great demeanor. He's tough. He can block. He can run. He can catch. He can throw. He can run. He can just do it all. And when I looked, I'm like, oh my God, I will not be rooting for him when we play him. But any other time, I'll be pulling for that young man.
Well, speaking of dynamic, I mean, you are the director of player engagement and youth football, which we're gonna get into. You guys got a pretty special player down there with yourself. I mean, Travis, what was it like when I saw the Cleveland traded out? I said, Cleveland Cleveland done it. Did Cleveland just trade with Jacksonville? My mom was like, "What you doing?" Travis Hunter's going to Jacksonville. What is it? Obviously I've heard, how great. I know that he probably if he ain't at the facility, he probably fishing right now. You're gonna catch him out there fishing. But you've had, not that you've given away anything, but what are your early impressions of a one Travis Hunter?
Well, I'm telling you, I was so excited when they announced the trade. They kept it really hush-hush, but some people kind of had some whispers about it. But when we made the jump, I was like, please take Travis Hunter, please. And I'm so glad we did, because this kid is so dynamic. He's fast. He can catch a BB in the dark. Great hands, great demeanor, asks great questions. But I think if all of his athletic prowess and abilities, when I talk about how special this kid is as a person, it don't get no better. He is very attentive. He asks questions. He doesn't have this air of arrogance about him. He is a real, genuine, down-to-earth, every day, around the way kind of kid. And I'm going to root for him. Even 20 years from now, I'll still be a Travis Hunter fan. He is phenomenal.
And the reason why I say, director of player engagement, you are the one, for those that don't know, you are the one that really gets to know the players. Like really, especially the rookies. But how have you, because you've been in this role a long time, Marcus, because the players, people say the role doesn't change, the players kind of help you change how you look, because nowadays we're dealing with NIL players, we're dealing with guys that we've known them, forget knowing them 4 years of college. Some of them we know them in high school. How has your approach to your job description changed over the years, especially because everybody gonna get a Travis Hunter every year for that level of demeanor, behaviorism, mannerisms. But talk about your role, man, and just being able to be the one that basically, you got all the T markers. You know what nobody know. Coach don't know this. The equipment staff don't know this. Talk about your role, man, and how has it grown over the years?
Yeah, Ben, that is a great question, man. I think it's evolved. When I first started doing player engagement, I had a guy that came from Kentucky, and this was 13, 14 years ago. And people still kind of writing checks. And Buddy didn't know how to write a check. I don't want to call his name. I'm like, I don't know how to write a check. And how to balance a checkbook. But then now it's evolved to where guys are getting NIL money, and they're having to pay taxes even before they get to the league. Travis, to look at somebody like Travis, who has gotten some crazy NIL deals and a lot of money before he even got to the league. And to think how it's evolved and how I've had to change how I approach even some of the meetings we just left. The approach, like now they're all about branding. How can I market myself? How can I make myself visible to the community and the public? And so I've had to shift in having meetings about, filing your taxes or doing like checkbooks or how to make some money off the field. These dudes now are way past that. They're already becoming in the league, being businessmen and having the mentality of, like Jay-Z said, I'm a business, man. That's how these dudes are thinking now. And so we have to change our approach and how we help them get to that level. And I've had to evolve that way. And I've been very fortunate because I've had to have some great teachers, and I've had this ability to adapt and learn and not thinking it's just about me and everything that I want them to have. I got to meet them where they are. And I feel like I've done a really good job of that.
I mean, speaking of doing a good job, I mean, you've been in your position since 2013. Forget the players. I mean, you've gone through a lot of head coaches. A lot of times, people here, new coach, new staff, top to bottom, talk about being able, to have that level of sustainability, because new coaches are fickle. And I mean, when I say fickle, I want it this way. It ain't personal. Most coaches have had the same equipment man since they've been coaching, from college to pro. I've had the same training staff. Being able to have new coaches come in, Marcus, and they see, your value and say, look, man, I want Marcus Pollard on my staff because I know what he does with the players. So to keep that, the way I can just bring them in, I can just coach them with the X and O's. He helps me talk about being able to go with, different coaches. But you said, listen, man, this is my approach. This is how I deal with them. And obviously you having a pedigree of, playing over a decade in the league, that helps you go, look, man, I know what players, most coaches say they know what players go through, but that's based on coaching them only. Not, no, coach, like, I know at this time, this is what their bodies feel, this is what they're going through in their mind. But that's the most impressive thing I mean, 2013, man, I mean, dang, 2013, we were still listening to DVDs, CDs. now it's all streaming. You know what I'm saying? A CD is a collector's item. Like, what is that? That's a CD you like sticking in a CD player. What's a CD player? Don't worry about it, young man. Just get the game plan down.
You wildin'. Boy, I love this. So I think for me, I've had the ability to adapt. I think the reason I think I've sustained so long is I don't make it about me. I make it about everybody else. I make it about the players, about, hey, supporting the coach. It's not about an ego. Hey, this is what I want. This is about me. I just try and meet the coaches where they are, just like I do the players. And so I've been very fortunate. And I'm so glad that people like you can identify the value in the role and in the experience I bring to the table. I never would say that publicly because to me it sounds like a brag, but to have you mention that to me is very impressive and I appreciate it. I've been very fortunate to be with this organization that long. Next year I will have been in this chair longer than I played football. And so I'm very, very excited about the opportunity to continue to develop young men. That's my mantra all day, every day, is what can I do to make you the best version of yourself, both on and off the field? And that's what I want to do. And I think the coaches understand that. When I sat down and talked to them, here's what I want to do. Whatever you need, my whole mantra is to make our players, this organization, the best that it can be.
No, just make listen, I'm always, and Steve knows this. I'm always give the flowers, man, because the one thing they don't talk about when we players is the front office. We all want to be coaches, assistant coaches, but no one talks about, hey man, I want to work in the front office. And people say, where do you want to work in the front office? You go, you can only tell them what I don't know, GM, assistant GM. But the reason why I give you flowers was when I was with the Tigers, Marcus Robinson, the former player himself, who's he's a coach now in the league, been around, man, since he stopped being he showed me the importance of that role. To say, look, man, I can only help you if you let me help you. I'm not gonna be banging. Listen, if you don't want to get out in the community, I ain't gonna bother you. If you ain't got no causes, I ain't gonna bother you. But I know it's more. He'll say, yeah, y'all be the ones yelling and screaming, man, they only care about me as a player. No, you only care about you as a player. You don't want to do anything else. And I just remember him showing me the importance. I used to say, man, how would you look at brand? He said, your brand will always be in what you do, not what you say. We always say it. He said, if they see you doing it, they'll say it for you. Hey, man, I saw him. He was just out here doing this. And now we live in a world now you can't even stop on the side of the road and give somebody some spare change without pulling the camera out. Your cameraman in the car with you. They say, did you get it? Do we got to do it again? I mean, but I just want to make sure that current players know that there is life in the NFL, and you could be on the sideline. You don't have to have a headset on. You don't got to be calling plays. You could be the one saying, hey man, I really know that. Like I'm rooting. As Marcus said, boy, you want them to root for you on Sundays or you want them to root for you, period. I'm here so they'll root for you, period. And obviously I'm 21 when he's saying this. I'm like, man, I'm trying to beat the Colts. He was like, well, we ain't gonna beat the Colts. You don't got to worry about that. I said, well, all right, you know what I'm saying? Them can't even dumb it down. He said, no. Y'all was cheat code, Marcus. I'm gonna say it right now. You, Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Joseph Adai, Peyton Manning, Bob Sanders, Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney. How are we supposed to win? No. Did you hear that, Steve? They were. When Marcus and them used to lose, it didn't happen often. But when they did, we're like, who they played? Did they play the 2000 Ravens? I'm just saying, man, and Dallas Clark is the only tight end. All I need is a helmet and some wristbands. No gloves. No gloves. No gloves. No. People think Dallas Clark, George Kittle is getting a lot of love. Dallas Clark was doing that way before George was. And he ain't listen, slot killer. He'll stick his hand right here, look at Peyton till like 2 seconds left on the clock. Peyton finna snap it and try to cut. You're not covering him. Not your slot corner can't cover him. Safeties can't cover him.
Linebacker definitely can't cover him.
Listen. And you go, hey man, where your gloves at? Don't need them. What? Just right here. I don't need nothing else.
Freezing cold, didn't matter.
That boy played at Iowa. He like, we wear gloves in football. We can really do that? Yeah. No, I'm in a dome. No, I'm good. I really don't need no gloves.
No, I'm straight. I got 8 games. I ain't gonna even worry about
it. Hands catcher, literally and figuratively, baby, man. And wore number 44.
Yeah, and wore 44.
It was the truth. Hey, man.
Yeah.
I got to see a lot of touchdowns in my 4 years with the Titans watching y'all. It was a clinic. Marvin Harrison Sr. is cheat code. The smallest dude, you can't do nothing. If he was 6'5", man, please. His game was 7'5". But if Marvin Harrison was big, you couldn't do nothing with him. Marvin Harrison walk out, you go, that's number 88. So watch this.
That's Travis Hunter is about that size.
Oh my God. And you know what, man? Had I not seen Marvin Harrison do it at the most consistent receiver you go, Marvin Harrison didn't drop. Listen, man.
Nothing.
Marvin Harrison ain't dropped nothing, man. I mean, I'm just saying drop. What, like drop a pass? And that pregame warm up with him and Reggie and Payton, I said, do they running these routes? Like, well, it's the game, bro. They don't. That routine was serious. And you get to the game, touchdown Wayne, touchdown Harrison. Hey, man, what can I say, man? You know, I mean, the Tennessee fans be forgetting, no, dude, you can't root for Payton. He played for the Vols. He's the enemy. That they're rooting for him. It's all good. Go ahead, Steve, man.
Yeah, I want to kind of bounce around a couple different things. Like, obviously, you guys have already touched on a few ones, but I guess the big news this week was the passing of your former owner there, Mr. Jim Irsay. And from what I've been hearing from players and coaches, he was a player's owner. He's somebody you could sit down there and have a beer with, have a laugh with. What was some of your fond memories of Jim, and what do you feel like his lasting impression is going to be on the game?
Yeah, I think having lost not a great man, but a great person, great owner of a team. Always was there for the players. I heard Brandon Stokely talk about, at Christmas, we'd always get a gift, no matter what it was. We was going to find something. It's going to be electronics. It's going to be a briefcase. It was going to be a Colts leather jacket. We was always going to get something for somebody to make that effort, to make certain that we as players, we could say, well, I was already making money. Why should I get them anything? To me, that spoke to the heart of who he is, who he was. For us as players. And I think, furthermore, thinking what he did for the whole community of Indianapolis, to move that organization there has really transcended the whole city of Indianapolis, and it's all based on what the Colts have done, in the time there since they left Baltimore. But what is a great man and will definitely be missed. One of my fondest memories, someone just sent me a picture the other day. I'm standing at my locker, and he's putting on Jeff Saturday's shoulder pads and put some eye black on his eyes, and him just standing there laughing. And so it's really cool just to have those sort of moments with somebody like Jim.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the stuff I've been hearing is just like he wasn't just like, he wasn't just your boss. He was, he did whatever he could to make himself one of the guys too, which is it's not something we have your wild card owners, your Al Davises of the world, your Jerry Joneses of the world, and you got your mild mannered guys. I mean, we're lucky here in Philadelphia. Jeffrey Lurie's completely turned this organization around since he bought it in the early 90s, and has, for the most part, has had nothing but success. I mean, obviously we've had our failures, but like the things that the owners do in the community, some people don't pay attention. I think after this year's Eagles autism awareness thing that they've raised $10 million over the the last 10 years or so that they've done that. So like when you're talking about like the impact you make on the community, I think it's one of the bigger things that I think most fans kind of forget about, especially if it's not your team, that you just don't really see that. And and then the silly stuff like you were just talking about with him putting on Saturday's pads, stuff like that. Yeah. Like that's kind of the stuff that we don't really get privy to unless like there's a camera back there catching, and you don't really have a lot of that stuff unless you're doing documentary now, obviously, where you have Hard Knocks and and things of that nature. So you don't really get to see that. That's why I always like to talk to the players about some of the things that we may not see or hear. So, some of the stories that needs to be told, but that you don't really have, journalists or media members that kind of go after those things and kind of tell those stories. So I always like to hear those little things. Right now, obviously. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when I left Indy in 2004, it had been several years since I seen Mr. Irsay. And so Jags, Colts, he was here and he was in a suite. Now, so I'm just going to go in here and say hello to Mr. Irsay. Whatever. Dude said, I walked in the door. Hey, Marcus, how you doing? It had been like 20 years since I seen him. And he knew who I was, remembered me. I was really impressed that he did, because if you think about all the players that's come through Indianapolis over the years, and I hadn't seen them in almost 20, for him to still say, hey, Marcus, how you doing? How's the family? I was like, wow. And to me, again, that speaks to who Mr. Irsay was. Just a genuine, down-to-earth, real dude. And I think part of that, when he was a younger guy, his dad was owning the team. He spent a lot of times around the players in the locker rooms. And so he just became one of the boys. And so he figured out how to navigate that space. Even now being the owner, he still could navigate being in the locker room and hanging out and cracking jokes and being silly, and still didn't lose that once he became the owner of the team.
Yeah, some of those that's what happens. They become too much of the boss and lose that brotherly bond that I think is kind of a necessity to have a successful organization. Yeah, you can be the boss when you need to be, but if you're not personable in that way, I don't think your team overall will be successful, because they're always going to be that friction or nervousness to what happens when the boss man comes around,
Yeah, anyway, I mean, that says a lot about Mr. Irsay, because you talk about going against the grain.
Yeah.
Our owner wanting to say, look, man, I get it. My check is, my check it's tattooed on, is a stamp on one side. I got a lot of employees, but I think when Mr. Irsay he said, look, man, I'm approachable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because I think owners get a bad rep because we assume, they're billionaires. They don't want to talk about it. No, they love football.
Yeah.
And they love the players and the coaches. And, I'm pretty sure they go home and brag about the coaches too. I mean, the one thing about Mr. Irsay, I can say he was a rebel, man. He said, look, man, I'm going to do things differently. Tony Dungy is the first black head coach to win a Super Bowl. Well, who hired him? Mr. Irsay. Yeah. And I guarantee, and I'm not saying it was like this, but at the owners' meetings, he probably, hey, I'm about to hire Tony Dungy. Then Lovie Smith, he get to be over there in Chicago, and then you see the Mike Thomas. Like, it's almost like, I once again never got a chance to talk to Mr. Irsay, but Bud Adams, my former owner, may he rest in peace as well, with the Titans. Listen, them dudes was rebels, man. They used to go back and forth with them fans. And and like I say, man, I saw what Peyton said about him. I saw what Tony Dungy said about him. And you know this, Marcus, man. You don't got to make people say that. If it ain't genuine, they're not gonna say it. And you tell me they don't come as genuine as Tony Dungy. It's not possible to be as genuine as that man is, man. And I just know that died very, very young, man. I know his daughter's gonna take over the organization, man. He made Indiana is a basketball state, no doubt about it. That's basketball originated. He made Indy a football city. He did it, and when people go, "Ain't no way you're gonna do that in that town," and he did it.
Yep.
That's now. I mean, you used to go to Indy, man. Yeah, man. They talking about everything but football. Now it's about the coach, and we ain't talking about no combine either. We talking about the coach. So yeah, man. May he rest in paradise, man. He will be missed because, like I said, sometimes. We don't get a chance to tell each other, how great you are in the moment, But Irsay was him, man. And like I said, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, now they trying to, hopefully Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones can be that next one. But I played when Indy had them glory years. Good God. I mean, when I played against Indy, I'm just saying, when I played against them, I said, listen, man, don't let them normal white and blue jerseys fool you. They ain't nothing. Them jerseys
ain't nothing basic about the talent.
They are the light blue version of Penn State. Them jerseys are regular. But when they put their hands in the dirt, it's gonna get, when they snap the ball. Number 18 is like he got a little computer in his head. I don't know how. You could come up with a brand new defense that week. He go, I see what y'all trying to touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this already.
Oh yeah. Peyton Manning was I played against his brother Eli, obviously, in college. And then it's like. Peyton was
oh man,
there's too cold.
That's what I was trying to get on there. I want to see if I can get that on there.
I'm just saying, man. Peyton Manning is a man. He was and he's so respectful. He ain't even a disrespectful player. His game disrespectful though, because you can't stop
his game
him.
of disrespect. Yeah,
he is a. If you make a mistake, he gonna make you pay. He looking at it dissecting. He looking at the safes. He going, y'all finna go one high. Y'all got to be safe. Y'all finna play one high. No, man, and now you down there in Jacksonville. You talk about a owner who's innovative, Mr. Khan. Now he's innovative. Now, if it was up to Mr. Khan, it would be the London Jaguars. If it ain't up to him, like no, Mr. No. He wants to have the first international team in the NFL. Like, Mr. Khan, we love you, but no, that's a lot of flight. But talk about working for. I mean, you played under Irsay. I mean, you played under. Rob Kraft. I mean, you played under Arthur Blank. You're talking about some of the most prestigious owners in pro sports, not just football. How much they're playing for those type of organizations or under that type of leadership and ownership now that you carried into, your current role now?
Yeah, so I think about Mr. Khan and what just a down to earth. When I tell you he strolled through here, he might have on some Jaguar sweatpants and a $500 shirt and some tennis shoes. I'm like, bro, what you wearing? But when I tell you, bro, he's so down to earth and don't need no fanfare, don't need no bodyguards. Just a real, genuine, down to earth kind of man. He first started working here. He came in office. And I don't know if he read my bio. I'm going to give him kudos even if he did it. Because the brother knew everything about me. I was like, bro, who does that? You got $100 billion, and you know me. I was impressed. I was just like, really? And the one thing that really stands out to me, I heard Shad talk about one time. He said, before I owned the NFL team, I was just a billionaire. But now that I own a team, everybody knows who I am. So to me, it just speaks to who he is. He doesn't get caught up in, I'm owning the team or I have all this money. When I tell you this boy got a yacht, look like a hotel, bruh, you get 1,000 people on this boat. And he just don't even care about any of it. Not they don't care, but it's like he don't get caught up in what he's got. Dude will do whatever for this team, whatever he needs to do for the city. This boy about to build a new stadium here. He's building a new hotel across the street, a new spot for the front office across the street. So he's just really revolutionizing the whole city of Jacksonville and is about to take it over the top, just like Mr. Irsay did in Indy.
See, and now, new head coach Liam Cohen comes over for Tampa Bay. I saw Tony Baselli. I saw with Travis Hunter. I saw his whole get out the plane. I saw Tony Baselli. They keeping the best player. Even though, I mean, to me, the best players, Jacksonville Jaguar history. You can rank it 1-3. I'm gonna go. To me, I love you, Mark Brunell. Fred T. Tony Baselli, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith was him. I mean, he was. Anyway,
I can't argue that one.
Listen, I love Mark Brunell. I love Mark Brunell. Love him. Tony Baselli, Fred T, Jimmy Smith, whatever order you want to put him in. And I'm happy that Tony Baselli is in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully, the Hall of Fame voters or these football writers will put Fred T in. But Jacksonville, Florida is premier location for any player coming into the league because you talk about can't beat the weather, can't beat the location, can't beat the no state tax. A lot of them don't know that. Ain't no state tax. Just saying. But this team and the way it's coming together, because no matter, you know how it is, Marcus, listen, Travis Hunter, Trayvon Walker, Josh, listen, they got a Josh Allen.
Brian Thomas Jr.
He just rushed the quarterback. He don't play quarterback. You got Tank Bigsby and Trevor Etienne, and wish I would have kept Evan Ingram. That's another conversation for another day. Love Evan Ingram game, but it's all gonna come back to that 6'6" man with the long hair from Clemson. It's gonna come back to Trevor Lawrence. I know he's healthy now. I know Liam Cohen looked around the football landscape and said, I could do something with that youngin' over there. Nothing against Baker Mayfield. Love Baker. He said, man, I can win with Baker. I want another. This is former number 1 overall pick, right? Yeah. Well, this guy over here was the number 1 overall pick too, right? How was Trevor loving his new toy and Travis, and man, how dangerous could a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who hopefully, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's had different coordinators like every other year, if not every year, since he's been in the league, and people don't talk about that. But how was Trevor looking early on in OTAs, man, and how dangerous if Trevor Lawrence can put it all together, which we all know he can. How dangerous is that for the AFC South, including Houston? And how dangerous is that for AFC that I get it, they got that man up there in, Kansas City, and that man up there in Baltimore, and that man up there in Buffalo. But I think Trevor's saying, I respect y'all, but I ain't scared of none of y'all.
Yeah. Ben, that's good, man. Because when I think about the weapons that our new administration with Tony Baselli, Coach Cohen, and James Gladstone, our new general manager, they've really put together really good weaponry for Trevor. You got Brian Thomas Jr., who was a dog last year. You add Travis Hunter, De'Ami Brown, who tore up the Redskins. I mean the Commanders, phenomenal receiver. Then you add Tank Bigsby. You got Travis Etienne. You get Brenton Strange, the tight end out of Penn State. Penn State is tight end just next to Iowa. Bro, I'm telling you, we have so many weapons on offense for Trevor Lawrence to excel this year with a man like Lim Cohen calling the plays. I'm not bragging yet. DT, by January, boy, get me back on the show. Get me back on the show.
Let me tell you something. When y'all play listen, take it easy on my two-tone blue boys up there in Tennessee, man. We got a number one overall pick. His name is Cam Ward. You know what I'm saying? He listen. The only way you can get a Miami Hurricane to root, the only way you can get a Florida Gator to root for a Miami Hurricane, you got to get drafted to the team you got drafted. So I am rooting for Cam Ward these days, but I like what you said. They gave him some weaponry, boy. And the greatest confidence a quarterback can get watching the draft is who they draft. If they got Travis Hunter, yeah, man, they believe in you. We want to not listen. We don't want you to look how you looked at Clemson. We want you to show some of that Clemson brilliance because in college, my God, you the reason why Dabo Swinney got making $100 million, whatever he making these days. But we talking about good teams. Because Steven is an Eagles fan, and unfortunately for me, I grew up in Georgia, so I am a Falcons fan. So we both root for the Birds. It's just my Birds got we got dirt all over us.
Your bird dirty.
Yeah.
They've always been dirty there in Atlanta.
Yeah, we don't do nothing but poop on people's cars, man. We don't beat I'm just saying, but you watching what the league is now. Like back when we played, it was still like a 50-50 like run pass. Now it's wide open, for this passing league that they call it now. What do you like the league now? I like the league now, but do you like what the league is doing, making it so that they know to get people to buy tickets and cassette and jerseys and memorabilia, you need to be touchdowns. We love defense, but don't nobody want to see no 10-7 game, no 17-16. They want to see 31-28. Talk about the evolution of the league and how for a guy like Trevor Lawrence, he was born at the right time, came in the league at the right time, and they're saying, look, man, we want to see you light that box score up week in and week out.
Man, I'd like to have seen us play in this era just to see how much we could have. I think we would have dominated. Not saying no disrespect to the group now, because I do like that passing attack, being able to catch the ball and stretch the field and run and block sometimes if we had to. But to me, I do enjoy watching the game now because it's a passing league. And to me, when you find a quarterback like the three gentlemen you mentioned earlier that can pull that trigger, you have to find somebody on the other side of the ball that can get to the trigger man. So it's really revolutionizing our defenses too, our defensive ends, our linebackers. Linebackers now can't be like Javon Kirkland anymore. They ain't going to be just no downhill smash mouth. They got to be able to cover. And so to me, now it's really showing the athleticism and what everybody can do, not just downhill smash football anymore. We're going to see athletically, what can you cover? Can you still tackle? Can you rush the quarterback? Can you get rid of the football? And so all of it now is still playing a gigantic part in revolutionizing what our football game is giving our fan base. And to me, like you said, they love it. When you see Patrick Mahomes go against Baltimore Ravens quarterback
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, bruh, you're gonna turn the TV on. You're gonna watch that one because they're gonna build that game up so much. You're gonna be like, what? And then you watch it, the score be 32-35. Like, man, that was a good game. So now you're coming back. Now you want more of that. So to me, I'm really excited about where our game's going.
And the biggest, listen, a name that I didn't mention, but to me, people don't got to like it. They don't got to like it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't like. I got to keep saying it. The best quarterback in football plays in Kansas City, in the world. The second best to me plays in Philly. You don't got to like it, Marcus. That boy is a disruptor. You know why? Because this is the thing about Jalen Hurts. He plays for Philly, and you know this when you play for the Colts, the Titans, the Jags, the Houston Texans. None of those teams are the media darling for the NFL. They ain't the one, right? So when you play for certain teams, hey, dude, y'all got to be good to get them primetime games. Because I didn't know how prestigious Monday night. Now you got Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night. You got so many prime. Jalen Hurts with them Eagles is saying, hey, man, y'all not going to give me regular season MVP. I get it. But when it comes to that super duper bowl, y'all going to have to deal. Not just they gave him Saquon, talking about a cheat code. Good God, you gave him Saquon Barkley. Well, the Giants gave him Saquon Barkley, but Jalen Hurts, like, I know you've seen him, obviously won the Super Bowl last year. What are your impressions of him? Because to me, I think when I see Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts is like Marvin Harrison at quarterback, but he talks to you. Because Marvin Harrison didn't talk. Like Marvin Harrison, I don't think Marvin Harrison ever, like Jalen Hurts has to talk. He's the quarterback. He can't Marshawn Lynch you. He can't say I'm only here so I don't get fined.
So I don't get fined.
But when you see Jalen Hurts from his swag to his demeanor to how he handles himself, you know, what are your? Because to me, man, I think the league is like, dude, we know that boy up there in Kansas City is the face of the league. But if this Jalen Hurts keeps doing what he's doing, that mantle might shift a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's one of the elite quarterbacks in the league as well. Now, I don't know if he'd be my number 2, but I do think he's in my top 5. And when I talk about, you're talking about somebody, when I made that comment about Jay-Z, a business comma man, not just a businessman, I'm a business comma man. Jalen Hurts has revolutionized what that really looks like. To take being backed up, kicked out at Alabama, bring somebody else in, go down to Oklahoma, ball out again, then go to Philly, had to play behind somebody, waited his turn, now show up like he's doing now, leading teams to the NFC Championship games, to the Super Bowl, and to have somebody like, I don't even want to really mention that running back he got, because that kid did something in our games I had never seen in my life, and I don't even want to talk about it, bro.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. See, like, you brought it. No, you're there. And when he did it, this is number one. Let me just say this about that play. Saquon, you disrespectful. Because you didn't have to do that. Let me tell you something. You didn't. You didn't. Because whoever that defender was, we ain't gonna call him out. That defender went. He get to the meeting room, and they like, "Hey man, what happened? I was finna hit him in the back, and then he jumped with his back to me. Like what we saw. What was it like seeing that Marcus did? Because Marcus, we thought we had seen it all. I
thought I saw it all until the end. No. I thought I saw it all until the end, bro. I saw it, and I talked to the media dude right beside me. I said, "Did you just see that? You didn't see that? Did he just?" Then I look at the Jumbotron. I was like, good God. Not only did he reverse hurdle, then he shook another dude. I'm like, how you do that? Bro, when I tell you I talked about for the next 20 minutes, I have never seen, I've seen Marvin make great catches. I've seen Peyton make great throws. Play with Tom Brady for a cup of coffee in preseason. I saw Tom make great. I've never seen anything like that. When I told the player, I ain't gonna call his name, bro, you are cemented forever with Saquon Barkley. When he go to the Hall of Fame, you going with him because he's gonna be the first video clip that they show when he go to the Hall of Fame. That was ridiculous. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
So since we're talking Philly, obviously we to talk
I know,
of the
Sean, you want to talk Philly. Come on with it, Sean.
Well, no, I want to talk about a few things about it. I mean, I'm not going to direct. I mean, we've already touched on it with Jalen, with Saquon's ridiculous year and the ridiculous move he made. But obviously, I'm going to go to your former coach here, Mr. Tony Dungy, was not happy that the tush push didn't get banned this past offseason.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's a touchy subject around the league. I have a feeling that the language around that play is going to get changed. It's not just going to affect Philadelphia. You're no longer going to be able to push an offensive player forward, and I think that's how they're going to go about banning it, because the language that they used to try to ban it this year didn't work. It's not a pace play. It's not a safety issue or anything like that. There's no numbers to back that. Now, obviously I have a list over here on who did and who didn't go against the play. What are your thoughts? Like how do you feel about it? Do you feel it's almost like they're looking like the league's out to get Philadelphia right now? They're trying to get rid of this play.
I don't think the league's out to get Philly. I think, when I look at the tush push, I don't know how many guys have gotten hurt, but there's no way to stop a herd of elephants and what to do pushing the herd of elephants for a yard. And so to me, it's not a banned play now. And so, I mean, it's football. I mean, just like tackling, when you know better, you do better. And so, you eliminated, these shots to the head to protect safety. And so if it becomes a safety issue, I'm certain the league and the PA will address it. But right now, it's a regular football play. Have at it.
Yeah, I think this is the swan song this year. I think they're going to get it, because it was 2 votes away after the second vote back here in a few weeks. So I think a few weeks ago. So I think that we're going to see the swan song of the tush push, the brotherly shove, however you want to call that. The other side of that is right now is you're seeing everyone doing the media runs. We just had Saquon on his teammates podcast, and he feels that this past Eagles team is one of the 5 best Super Bowl franchise runs that we've seen in the past 20, 30 years. And then apparently them guys down in Tampa Bay, they were like, hey, man, Saquon one day gained 7 yards against us. Derek Brooks was not happy with the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles are kind of smelling themselves right now. Yeah. Now, obviously, you played on some good teams. You unfortunately just missed out on the Super Bowl run. They wound up getting over the hump a few years after you left in 2007. What do you feel about that, and who do you feel like was some of your favorite teams that you've seen when, regardless playing on them or playing against them?
Yeah, you mentioned Tampa. Very good defense. Offense kind of struggled at times. I can remember a Monday night game. We go to Tampa, and this speaks to Tony Dungy too. We go to Tampa on a Monday night. We're getting smoked. 8 minutes to go on the clock. We down 24. Keyshawn Johnson took his pass. Warren Sapp laid the helmet down. Boom. People probably turned the TV off like this one's over. We came back and won that game. So Tampa really had a really good defense, but I think we had a really productive offense. So I think about some of the teams that I played on in Indy were phenomenal. Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, Bob Sanders, Gary Brackett. We had some good teams. And I think about the 2000 Ravens. Golly, amazing. You know what I mean? So there's some really good teams over the years, but I think Philly, they do have a leg to stand on because they've been very dominant. Did a really good job in drafting players, really good job of putting the players in place to be successful. That wide receiver group is outstanding. They take older guys like, I think it's Zach Ertz is there now.
No, Zach Ertz left a few years ago, but
who was there now? It's the young guy. And so they've really done a really good job of putting the team together. So yeah. Philly has an argument. They really do. A good defense, good offense, good special teams. And when you can have all 3 phases playing together at the same time, it speaks volumes to your ability to brag about how good a team you have.
Yeah, you're supposed to brag, right? I mean, wait. I mean, now, number one, I had a couple. I was with Tampa. I was with Tampa for like the first 2 games of the year. Then I got let go. I did with the Raiders. That's for anybody that knows Derek Brooks. He don't usually say anything. Like he's very mild mannered. for him to come out and say something only validates Saquon. Like it only people think, hey man, I don't think you wouldn't did nothing. Listen, the greatest thing about being a former player is what you would have done. See, because you don't get to do it no more. I said one time, one of the greatest compliments I've ever got. I was blessed enough to be in the Florida-Georgia, inducted to the Florida-Georgia Game Hall of Fame right there in Jacksonville, where Florida, and Georgia play each other every year. And my teammate that I came in with said something. He said, listen, the older I get, the better, the greater I was. Because you don't play no more. Because, you talking to these players now. My nephew, I live in Atlanta, man. My nephew, I live in Kennesaw, Georgia. My nephew was going to Kennesaw State. He talking to me. I said, boy, you better be lucky. Boy, if I play when you play. That's because we know we don't got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things to where as long as we can beat our nephews and sons in a sport, we talk trash. Once they can be us, we say, oh, it make you feel good now? It make you feel good.
Beat up old guy?
That's what you want to do? You want to, okay. It's mind manipulation. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Saquon Barkley is a throwback. He would have been good in any era. You could put that boy in. Most players, they're good for the era that they're in. Yeah. Saquon Barkley is an any era guy. So regardless of Derrick Brooks gonna make a point, Ray Lewis can make a point. Listen. That 2007 Colts team. Let me tell you something, people. Listen, Brian Dawkins, favorite safety I've ever played against and with. You talk about John Lynch, you talk about Troy Pollard, you talk about Ed Reed. People did not want to deal with Bob Sanders. I don't think people don't talk about Bob Sanders enough. If Bob Sanders was like he like 5'8", 9", all muscle. And when he hit you, that was it. He ran over Bob. Because guess what? Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Derrick Brooks, Warren Sapp, what do you guys got in common? Oh, defensive player of the year, like Bob Sanders. Bob Sanders won defensive player of the year with people like Michael Strahan and all these type of players in the league. He was and once again, another Iowa player. See, these Iowa boys. I'm sorry, where is y'all cornerback from, Steven? That got the pick against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Where did he go to college at?
He went to Iowa.
I'm just saying, if you find and let's call it what it is. Jason Sehorn killed it for every white cornerback in the world till Cooper DeJean came. We can say that. We ain't seen a white cornerback.
He set the bar too high.
We ain't seen the white.
All I gotta say right now is Cooper DeJean has killed the milk check. Can't do the milk check against that boy, man. Because what he did to Derrick Henry was crazy. That pick six was another thing, but what he did to Derrick Henry in the regular season on that swing pass was. I thought Derrick Henry was fitting to run him over. Next thing you know, you see Derrick Henry's cleats up in the air. I'm like, oh, okay. Coop came to play today.
Nice, man. Listen, you got to be nice to play on that Philly defense. Most of y'all players are under contract, rookie contracts, by the way, which I think is even more dangerous.
I think we got the core of our team is under contract for the better part of the next 2 to 3 years. So this is their window right now. Like, listen, the league hasn't quite caught up with what you're doing. You haven't really had guys that have any major injuries, things of that nature. Praise the football gods for that. But you have both of your receivers under contract, your whole offensive line under contract outside of the right guard position. I mean, we were already talking about how good the tush push is. It's because of the those five guys up front. Jalen Carter's something special, man. It's Aaron Donald said it a few years ago when he walked away like that he was the next me, and I don't think he's wrong. If it wasn't for Jalen Carter, we would have probably not seen an Eagles Super Bowl because the Rams was fitting in to have some last minute comebacks in that divisional game, and he put an end to that. So I think they're in a nice spot. It's a tough schedule we got this year. As I was telling you, there's no back-to-back home games this season.
Your coach got a new contract too, right?
Yeah. I think it's funny though is that we haven't heard any details on. Normally, when a coach gets a contract, it's like, oh, it's for X amount of years, X amount of dollars, etc. It's just all the thing has been announced. It's a multi-year deal. I'm like, wow.
Listen. You said in another episode. You said, listen, Howie Roseman gave him a check with no numbers in it. Like, what you mean? Just write what you want.
Just write whatever you want. Just
write what you want in there. But they gonna get mad if I ask your wife how much she want. Write it in there, because that's what I'm saying though. The one thing that the NFL is and will always be is this: you can have a Saquon, you can have a Derrick Henry, you can have these great running backs. If the signal caller ain't one of those top 10, top 15, it's gonna be hard to win. That's why, when I think about the Eagles, playoff Super Bowl, defending champs. When I think about the Jags. This is what I say. I say the same thing. I go, look, y'all better hope Trevor Lawrence don't get mad. Because if he does, and he says, you know what, man? All right, let's do this. Because, listen, I like C.J. Stroud. I do. I like C.J. I got to like Anthony Richardson. We both went to the same college. Got to like him. And obviously I got to like Cam Ward because I got drafted by the Titans. The AFC South has been won by Houston the last 2 years. And I can say what Marcus won't say. No one's scared of them, though. You respect them, but I guarantee you, Liam Cohen said, dude, I like this AFC South. He gonna say all the right things, and when the camera go off, he go, we're gonna try to strangle these dudes. Because while CJ Stroud is the most consistent quarterback right now in the AFC South, Cam Ward is the newest. I really don't know what. Listen, I'm not gonna say what I really want to say about Anthony Richardson because I'm pretty sure he watched this show, and I don't want him to get mad. I do love him. To me, the most impressive thing I've seen in the last 5 years in the AFC South was Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs against the Chargers, 5 picks, and they won that thing. I said, wait a minute, this boy about to win this thing. You know why they won that thing? Two reasons. Asante Samuel and Travis Etienne. You know why? Because I said, Asante Samuel Jr., if he like his daddy, that boy's a ball hog. What you mean? He picks off passes. He don't tackle people now. That's not his. And I said they're gonna bring everybody in tight. They're gonna put them on the. I said they about to listen. I saw Travis get that thing, go straight up, run at Asante. Asante like I don't want none of this. Ran around him. Game over. I mean, because at the end of the day, I think the thing about, once again, I keep talking about the heyday of the Colts. I also played against the heyday Jags when they had Mike Peterson at middle linebacker, right? I mean, that go Marcus Stroud. God, dog, man, that go. I mean, what?
Mathis.
Listen. I'm just saying, when the whole defense, Stephen, had dreads in their hair. Whole defense. The whole defense. I'm telling you, it was I'm sorry. Marcellus Wiley was on that defense at one point. He the only one, did that. I just think that, them Tom Coughlin led Jags. That's back when, you come to the stadium and you hear Lil Jon coming on the we some head busters. Like, wait a minute, they about to kill us, bro. Like, we about to die. Back when, listen, I'm gonna say this. People say, who's the greatest tandem of running backs? Like 2 running backs. People want to talk about D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stupid. They want to talk about Lindell White and Chris Johnson. You better check Fred Taylor and Maurice Jones. Maurice Jones-Drew was so good, he used to laugh at people. Maurice Jones-Drew was cheat code. And that, once again, that's who I got. Mercedes Lewis going in like year 37 in the league. He ain't never.
He's 82 years old.
But listen. Mercedes Lewis Jr. is about to get drafted. He get to play with his daddy like LeBron James.
Like Bronny.
But no, man, it's all. Listen, Marcus, it's always a blast. Like for me, and like humbling for me. Have people because like I said, I used to watch you from afar because what happens is when we watching y'all, what I used to do when I played, I would watch the team I'm playing and I would watch tight ends like yourself because I want to see. And I used to watch y'all because I used to ask Aaron Kenny about you. I said, man, what's up about Marcus Price? Oh, he good now. And guess what? I said, you think Marcus gonna be there? He go, no. He said because they drafted. He said they drafted Dallas like first round. So you draft a tight end that high. You know what I'm saying? Because EK used to tell me about the business. He said, listen, man, sometimes a first rounder might not be better than the guy that's there, but they paying him too much for him to hold a clipboard. He ain't gonna. They got to put him out there. But I was like, because Aaron Kenny used to say, he'll say, Mark. I said, how you feel about Marcus Pollard? He said, listen, man. He said, Marcus Pollard, 10-year guys. 10-year guys mean, well, we know what we're doing. He said, a 10-year tight end means I know what I'm doing. I don't got to be no all-pro, but I could. I don't got to be no pro bowler, but I could. You know what I do? Every time they talk about the best 11 on offense, my name comes up. Why? Because I'm a utility player.
Yeah.
They don't listen. They don't bring me out on third down. You know what I'm saying? When it's 3rd and 1, they make sure I'm in when it's 3rd and 6 and 8 because I can get open. And if I do have to pass block, I bet you the guy I'm blocking ain't gonna hit the quarterback. I bet you my guy. I said, because one time Aaron Kenny held it done. The one time he held the dude, and he said, "What you rather have, a 15-yard hold or the backup end?" Not on my watch. I will hold anybody. And when he held it, he was like this. That's me. No, I held him. He ain't finna touch him. And to me, that's the part that I had to learn. I had to learn that part. Getting it done. I can deal with a penalty. I can't deal with, hey, man, our franchise $30 million quarterback will be out for the season because he got hit on this blind side. No doubt.
Now, Marcus, I want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, it was ratified that we're going to allow NFL players to do flag football in the upcoming Olympics. What are your thoughts on this? And who do you think is going to go? Are we going to see some former players hop in there and put together a nice little flag football team? Because some of the current flag football players that are representing the USA team aren't happy about this. That, oh, well, they didn't help us do anything the past X amount of years. So I think what really made is they're going to lose out on the opportunity to win a gold medal, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. I think it's good for the game. I think to have flag football be represented. Let me tell you this, BT, did you watch them boys do that breakdancing in the Olympics?
That
was so trash, bro.
If you want to call that break that, if that's what we call it.
So
I don't even think the American people wasn't debated. It was I forget where the woman was from, but like there's a video or meme that was going around all over social media, and it was the worst thing that anyone has ever been forced to watch and try to grade on.
Awful. So I think it's good for our game because now we have an ability to teach younger players how to play the game. So it's getting more people involved in our game, which is going to increase the dollars. But I think bigger than that, I think an opportunity to win a gold medal for your country, I think it's been pretty sweet. Ben, I know you would have did. I know I'd have jumped at the opportunity.
I would have done it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did it in a
here's what I want to
see.
see. Good. It's a silly one. Obviously, Tom Brady is our unofficial GOAT quarterback for the last X amount of years. You think Tom Brady's going to get involved in that?
Man, I'm telling you, it made Terrell Owens may come out of the woodworks. And
T.O. might
show up.
I mean, it's one. You look. There are certain bragging rights, and only a certain percentage of NFL teams gonna get a chance to even play for Super Bowl, let alone win one. It's very, 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 very rare. You start talking about first is I was an Olympian. That's the first bragging right. Man, I'm an Olympian. I'm sorry. Who did you play for? Oh, you just telling me? Oh, you played for the Colts? Played for the Titans? No. I played for USA. That's who I played for, right? Then, we're gonna medal. When you hope to get a gold, there is 0% chance we gonna get a medal.
You're gonna get a medal.
We're gonna get one. Silver, bronze. But here's the thing, right? Could you imagine Terrell Owens coming out of retirement and Coach Terrell Owens win a gold medal? We can't deal with him now. He got a gold jacket. Now he's gonna get a gold medal.
He wouldn't shut up until after he's dead. At that point,
I mean,
he's just finally quieting it down. You ain't wrong there, Ben.
No.
Move with that one, boy.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. The difference is back. If they would have done this back when we was playing, That tight end line would have been so long. Like, hey,
Oh my God,
we
Lord.
walking. Listen, that brotherhood goes out the window. We lying on each other. Man, this dude right here, you want him? Because what it is right. What it is it's so rare to be an Olympian.
Yeah.
Right, and I think that when I see what Justin Jefferson is saying, right, he want to go over there and rep. Justin Jefferson don't understand his worth yet to Minnesota. Like, they're going to let him say whatever he want. When it comes time, they're going to be like, Justin, yeah, you're not doing flag football.
No,
yeah,
sir. You're going to go over there and sit down. You're going to watch it on TV.
Yeah. They'll say, Justin, I'm going to say this right now. Listen, if we catch up. Okay. Y'all got, it's a video of Saquon in the gym. He threw the alley, and Cooper DeJean caught the alley, right? That's their last time playing basketball. So they turned the camera off. You know, Nick Sirianni said, "Hey, get up out of here." What? The only basketball I want to see you dunking is in a pool. The one that just sit there, you can just dunk. Because some of these players they have forgot. Dude, no. You are employed by the team you play for. You live in the United States. You ain't finna play flag football. Look, listen. You know what it is? They're gonna say, Justin, the only flag football you're gonna be playing is in the Pro Bowl. That's it. You ain't playing because they too competitive. Listen, the Pro Bowl ain't competitive flag football. It's just flag. Them guys over there trying to embarrass the USA, right?
Oh, yeah.
So but I do agree with Marcus, man. I think it's great for the game. I mean, you look at how many international games we got now. They got international games. And it used to be when I remember when they first started talking about it, people like, you're gonna play a game internationally. Minnesota got to go overseas back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
London and Ireland.
Yeah, the league has done a phenomenal job of marketing from fantasy football, and the players on the field obviously is what's gonna push the product more than anything else. But the league know what it's doing. The league knows, hey man, Patrick Mahomes, you know, he gonna be on the commercial. Him and Jalen and Lamar and you know, and Josh Allen and them. They ain't finna be number one. They gonna send out memos. We ain't gonna get these emails, but these owners and coaches, they're gonna be like, yo, Liam, yeah, listen. Tell Travis Hunter, yeah, he's phenomenal. Yeah, tell him to sit. Tell him to go fishing. He ain't finna, because the product on the field is in America. Right?
Yeah.
You start talking about the U.S. because you know these other teams now flag football been around these other continents forever. It's when you put the pads on where we dominate. So they think, hey man, we finna dominate y'all. Well, we gonna send our best. We're not gonna send our ultimate best, not our elite. No. This ain't like the U.S. men's basketball team. This ain't like the dream team now. We can't do that. No, because
they put a dream team together doing flag football. If we're picking current quarterbacks, wide receivers, and things, like first off, Lamar Jackson has to be at the top of that list. He has to be, right?
Yeah. No. Whoa. Here's the thing, though, Steven. Now you just did it. You right in what you just said. But listen, from a player's perspective, elite don't look the same to us now. Wait. Now to the Marcus, know this. Somebody get to saying, hey Marcus. What tight? This is not Marcus. We currently in the league. Hey, Marcus, what tight ends are we sending? I'm like, Ed, why my name ain't on this list? I'm not voting for none of you, dude. Listen, because we love them, right? This is the greatest perception in the world is how you see yourself athletic. And if you're a pro athlete, they're gonna be like, Ed, I'm like, I can say, who you got? Tony Gonzalez, okay, Shannon Sharp, okay, Antonio Gage, not voting for them. Nope. Give me another list. Give me another. Only because, right? And Marcus will vouch for this. Numbers only tell half the story now. You having better numbers don't mean you was a better player now. Doesn't mean you was a bad player. Let me say that. But like I say, Algie Crumpler to me one of the best tight ends I ever seen. He ain't got Hall of Fame numbers. Ask Michael Vick who he threw to before Roddy White got there. Yeah. Before Julio got there. Yeah. That would be Algie, right? And Algie did it for the Titans. He did it for, he did it for New England. So what I'm saying is impact is what I look at. Yeah. How impactful are you? Because sometimes, like I said, we were talking about Dallas Clark. People never talk about Dallas Clark as being influential to the tight end position. Let me tell you something, man. The U tight end, that move tight end, boy. That's the reason why Reggie. You notice that Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison didn't shift. Marvin Harrison on the right, Reggie on the left. Who did move? that would be Dallas. And Dallas was. So I just think that while we respect the ones that get all the accolades because they earned them, if we in the room with tight end you and it's just us with no cameras, it's gonna be some disagreements in that room. Now, whoa. We know
For sure.
It ain't.
Well,
listen,
let's have the debate here. All right, we're talking Olympics. We're talking about great tight ends. Marcus, give me your Mount Rushmore. Who's your four tight ends, man?
That's a good question. I have to start Ben Coates.
Nice.
Old school New England.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably have to go with Mark Bavaro.
Nice.
People forget about Mark. You know, New York
Talk
Giants.
that talk, Marcus. Marcus
he
talking
ended his
that talk
career
now.
here in Philadelphia.
Nice.
So
Marcus
I
talking that talk
definitely
now.
know Mark.
Talk that talk because you see, I told you we get caught up in who we hear about the most, not who. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, sir.
Who doing it?
He's getting down to his last two. He doesn't want to hurt no one's feelings.
I'm thinking because Britton Strange and I just had one of our tight ends here. Just had this conversation about what it takes to be a complete tight end. I think sometimes people get caught up in just catching passes.
Exactly. Something I beat into my son all the time. I'm like, listen, dude. I'm like the blocking, both run blocking and pass blocking is just as important at the tight end position as it is on the offensive line. So,
yeah, this. He and I talked about it. George Kittles would probably be on there for me.
Oh, he nasty, man. Good.
George Kittles would probably be on there for me. Got
a third. So who's lucky number 4?
I'm gonna go with your guy, Troupe.
Oh,
Algie Crumpler.
Algie Crumpler. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna give you my 4. I like it too. I'm gonna give you my 4. Man, my number 1 got to be Shannon Sharp for this reason. This is why I would put Shannon in there. Shannon Sharp was not big. Like when he played tight end, he wasn't that big, man. Shannon Sharp is so for those of you who don't know, when you run, you know, when you got cover 2, when you got all seams, he got to bend that thing. He got to break it off. He's the only tight end I've ever seen. He can score on it. He'll bend that thing to the middle. He can get in between them stages. Shannon Sharp to me is he's one of them. My number 2, man, and I love this dude, man. Not just what he did for the game. Ozzie freaking Newsome. Newsome. Man. Listen, Ozzie Newsome is so good in his current role of what he does in the front office. People forget, no, he was him. That tight end, right? Yeah. Ozzie Newsome was him. Yeah. Now, I got to put this guy in because to me, he took the tight end position to another stratosphere, and that's Gronk. Gronk, he just took it. He made a tight end the it position. You got guys right now say, man, I remember Gronk.
Let me ask you this. Was it Tom Brady or was it Gronk?
It was both. It's more Tom Brady than Gronk. Because think about this. I believe it's more Tom Brady than Gronk, but Tom Brady said, okay, I got this battering ram at tight end, and I know how to use him. Just like, is it Travis Kelce or, Patrick Mahomes, right? I'm never going to blame a great player for making another greater player even greater. So I think that when you have a great player, you can. Now, I got Ozzie, I said Gronk, I said Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
My 4th, man, just from what I appreciate, what he did for the position and how, Travis Kelce is the easy one, but that's all, I will also say George Kittle for this reason. George Kittle, if you're putting on a clinic of what a tight end is, George Kittle say, man, just show him my blocking. Don't even show him my catching. Think about this. George Kittle George Kittle be down there with the offensive lineman telling them how to get their feet right. The way George Kittle is a mauler at tight end. Like, and like I say, the list could be anybody because people gonna say, where's Antonio Gates? Where's Tony Gonzalez? If I didn't put George Kittle in there, just say I take George Kittle out. A tight end that I really, 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 really love when I got to go back to see is Kellen Winslow Sr. Because I got drafted with Kellen Winslow too. Listen, Kellen Winslow Sr., Dan Fouts and them. What? Man, Kellen Winslow Sr. out there blocking kicks. See, that's back when you had to play more than just. So once again, Shannon Sharpe and what he meant to the position. Gronk is like Shaq and Kobe. He's a one-name superstar. His name is Gronk. Just Gronk. That's Gronk right? You know what I'm saying?
Kobe,
Isaac Newsome.
Jordan.
Isaac Newsome just, man, as great as he was as a player, that's how he is in the front office, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about why the Ravens organization is that complete, Isaac no talent when he see it, and he's snatching them up. And like I said, man, when it comes to the tight end position, though, I do agree with some Marcus that I do. It's like, dude, we the Renaissance man out there, man. We the utility guys, man. We the jack of many trades, master of none. But if you need to get it done, the tight end can do it. The greatest call in Philadelphia Eagles history is called Philly. Who threw it? Who threw it to Nick Foles? That would be Trey Burton. Where did Trey Burton tight end?
Gator too, wasn't he?
Huh?
He's a Gator too, wasn't he?
He is a Gator. Trey Burton is a Gator. I said, and Trey Burton said, I didn't even know how significant the play was till I got to the after party or whatever, right? I would say this about Kansas City. If 87 ain't having a good game, Kansas City gonna lose. In the passing game, if Travis Kelce don't have a good, because that's a tight end is the quarterback's best friend because we make our money in between them numbers, baby. We right there what action is, right? And listen, we got the Y stick, you got the end, you got the corner, and you got the seam. Everything else, and Jason Witten made a living off that option route. Good God, I mean, Jason Witten might have caught 700 option routes. Him and Tony Romo. But guess what?
Yeah.
It worked.
He could be on that list too, bro.
Yeah. Listen, Jason Witten was. I never saw Jason Witten becoming that. I knew he was gonna be good. I didn't see him. I think he's fourth all time. I think is Jerry, Larry.
I'll never forget the game in Philly when his helmet gets knocked off and he still runs down the field for another 15 more yards.
I mean, listen, the tight end position used to be that you that tweener, like you ain't fast enough to be a receiver. You're a little bit too small to be an offensive lineman. Now, if you got a solid tight end, man, you can run your whole offense. But like I say, I know he's no longer with the Jags. Evan Ingram, to me, when he was with y'all, Marcus, I said, Evan Ingram plays angry too, boy. He nasty. He was so good. And I think him and Chigwozium, the tight end for the Titans, I think they both went to the same freaking high school. I think they went to the same high school.
Really?
Yeah, man. But no, it's like, listen, for those people saying when y'all see this episode and y'all say, Marcus, Ben, what are y'all talking about? You were asking tight ends who was on our Mount Rushmore. We are not the viewing public.
Not
man.
the public. We ain't
we ain't buying.
This isn't a popularity list. It's not a touchdowns list. It's not a yards list. It's about the position.
Ask any tight end. Say Algie Crump. They go, Algie was so smooth, man. He was like,
and a big body can move.
Listen. Straight S500 big body bands coming down, and you can't. And guess what? You can't stop it. You knew what Algie gonna do. Can't stop it. And Algie was going to Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl. Oh, North Carolina boy, get to go to the ATL, man. When Michael Vick said, I don't even know who my receivers are because I got Algie, that old 8'3" on the shit. Like I say, man, Algie said, look, man, Algie Trumpler was built kind of like Jerome Bettis was at running back. Big dude, man. Big. Look at the production.
Yeah.
Just look at the, you know what I'm saying? If he walked to the pool, you can be like, man, I do no play no football. Yeah, he do. And he better than you. I'm just saying, love that.
Have you spent any time with your former Gator, that tight end in Atlanta?
No, Kyle Pitts, never met him yet, man. I ain't met him yet. Now,
man, he need to get on, man.
Listen. Let me tell you something about Kyle Pitts. And I know you know, because you're right there in Jacksonville, you get to see a lot what Florida does just from being right there.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers from Georgia, to me, best college tight end. That boy there, just from what he did production. I have never seen an athlete at the tight end position like Kyle Pitts. Now, when he was at Florida, I said, who in the world? Let me tell you something. Think about this, Steven. You go back to Kyle Pitts' junior year. That's his last year of Florida. This is his first game. I look at the stat sheet. It said 4 catches, 228 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did it. That's one game. That's a sick. What? Kyle Pitts. Once again, Kyle Pitts to me is like a Trevor Lawrence. When he decides that all right, I'm done. Let's go. It's over. Cause 6'6", like 245, 250, so lean. Right? Don't even look his weight. When he decides, hey, dude, it's like somebody said, dude, you know you Kyle Pitts, right? How draft the tight end in NFL history? I got to do that boy voiceover. Florida called me and said, hey, Ben, you want to do Kyle Pitts voiceover? I go, yeah. And then I'm trying to get in his business at the time. I say, man, when was Kyle Pitts born? They said, Kyle Pitts was born in 2000. I said, I got to college in 2000. All right, I shouldn't have asked that. All right, well, never mind. Just scratch that out. You know, it's Marcus, is there a tight end right now in the league that you just enjoy watching? You mentioned George Kittle. Is there a tight end that when you see him play, you go, that boy, that finna do numbers. He's straight business today.
I'm gonna tell you somebody who's out there. When I watched him a couple of years ago, I'm like, this dude ain't gonna be nothing. He run funny, awkward. Isaiah Likely, coach.
Oh, from the Ravens. Let me tell you something. Isaiah Likely, the boy went to Coastal Carolina, right? Listen. If you go to Coast, if your mascot is a Chanticleer, for those of you who don't know, that's a big gigantic bird. That's what it looks like, a big rooster, gigantic one, like a. Isaiah Likely is doing now with the Ravens what he did over there in Conway, South Kakalaki, when Zach Wilson and company from BYU came, because they wanted to play Coastal Carolina. They got that teal look. It's like they call it real similar to Jag. They got a teal color. That field is bright teal.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Likely to me can be as good as he want to be. He can.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Likely shows that just because you're the quote number 2 tight end don't mean you can't do numbers, baby. Like people think,
right.
Oh, he's the number 2. No. Mark, you see what Mark Andrews knows what's coming up behind him. That younger behind him is Isaiah Likely, man. He's a. I'm not surprised. I got a chance, back when I was doing ESPN radio, and we used to cover the Sun Belt, SoCon, and I used to see a guy. I said, Coastal Carolina, they got a younger named Isaiah Likely. That boy, that nice, man. Now you down there with the Ravens. I know what you're doing, Marcus. I know what you're trying to do. See, let me tell you what Marcus just did. Because I know football analogy. Marcus know that Isaiah Likely still on his rookie deal. Isaiah Likely got that. He got to resign. So I'm just listen. I know lingo talk. Listen, he go, I like that. He said, look at the camera. See, he go, I like Isaiah Likely. Because that way, if Isaiah just happened to run across this, he'll say,
he watching the show.
If Isaiah just happened to see the show, he'll say, did he say no? I told you, ain't no state tax down there now. Listen. Baltimore get real cold, don't it? Real
cold in Baltimore. Yeah.
Cold is going to get to Jacksonville. It's around about 55 degrees, but they go right back up to 66.
Right back up to 70.
Right,
see what Ben's doing right now. He's saving the Jacksonville's tampering problems.
No. What I'm saying is the boy went to college by the water. You got Jacksonville and Jacksonville Beach. You got to drive a little bit to get to Jacksonville Beach, but the water right there, baby. You can drive on. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
Right there.
If Isaiah Likely to me, top 10, top 15 tight end, because every time he's in the game, look out, because he could turn a 10-yard in cut. He can take it 60. That boy, that got speed.
Yeah, I think he's one of the underrated guys that people don't really talk about. But it's also because they run a lot of 2 tight ends, and they don't really when the play breaks down the way it doesn't really go to him. But he listen. I remember watching a couple games last year. I'm like, why is he the second tight end? Why is he the second tight end?
He's gonna be the first. He's just gonna be the first on another squad because they're gonna keep Mark Andrews. If it was up to Marcus said, "I think it looked good in that tail." You know, man, I think it looked good. that ain't tamper. That's just saying you think it looked good down there. I mean, listen, hold on. Isaiah Likely, Travis Hunter, De'Ami Brown, Brian Thomas, Tank Bigsby, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence. That's cheating, people. That it's not cheating, but God, dog, that's
cheat code.
That's running out some boys right there. I'm like, boy, I said, you see that offense? And I think I said like 6'3", 6'4". He lean, man. He disrespectful too. When he catching passes on you, if he get a step on you, they ain't catching him. I saw him against Houston take one like 70. I said, what the? He's nice, man. What's nice.
Oh man. Well, but I'm gonna get ready to let Marcus enjoy the rest of his afternoon. Me and Ben got some more stuff to go. I'm gonna be fighting with him about his Atlanta Braves in a minute because we got some fighting words about to happen in a minute here. But Marcus, man, it's definitely a blast. We definitely got to have you back on here as soon as you get some free time or whatever, man. This was a good one. Glad I could get you on here. Glad I could get Ben on here and see you guys chopping it up. Listen, anytime you're free, you're always welcome here on the Fan in the End to talk some football and things of that nature. What I typically do.
Full life.
There you go, brother. What I typically do at the end is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you want to show some love to, shoot out your social media sites, anything that you're working with, nonprofit organizations, things like that. The time is yours, Marcus.
Yeah, man. I've enjoyed this opportunity hanging out with y'all, man, chopping it up with Ben. Great to see great people. Sean, it's awesome, man. Social media is just Instagram, Marcus_Pollard. I don't have any other social media outlets. I enjoy public speaking, so if there are any speaking engagements that come up, podcasts, include your boy. I'm down. Holler at me.
I'm definitely trying to work out getting Ben doing some things.
I'm trying to
point
to
time over the next few years. I do want to
Jacksonville, holler at the rookies or holler at the team. Just come up in there and be like, listen, man, I'm back. I'm in Jacksonville. I ain't never been through these facilities before. It's really, really nice, Mr. Khan. I appreciate that $35,000 check, man. I'm playing. I'm getting back out here on the speaking circuit as well, Marcus, man. So keep me in mind, man. We're gonna definitely be in touch, man. Like I said, I'm just happy that I met you. Like this, man. Obviously I know what you do, and as long as you've been doing it, you represent the second phase of to me of being a pro athlete, and that's, hey man, what is gonna be my second act? And your second act is showing people, hey man, if you could do it out there, man, let's see if you can do it when you take the pads off, man. So you are doing a hell of a job, man. I'm just letting you know I'm watching you from afar. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder and Fred T and guys that I admire. Listen, man, I am definitely, you know what I'm saying, watch you, and I'm taking notes, bro. I'm taking notes as much as I possibly can, because when a kid tells me, I got a nonprofit called the Uncommon Crew, to where I definitely work with young men ages 12 through 18, and I say, what would you do if sports didn't exist? They'll go, I said, that front office is a beautiful thing, because all you do is go out there and go, oh, you don't got to. I said, because when you got to be the one everybody paying to see, you got to perform, baby. But can you take off that jersey and put on a white polo with your own outfit? What's your name outside the office? I'm just saying, we businessmen, right? So let's do business. And I appreciate you taking the time, man. We gonna definitely be in touch, Big Curve.
For sure. Appreciate you, Ben. Appreciate you, Sean.
All right, Marcus. Appreciate your time this evening. Again, can't wait to have you back on here and in the future. And enjoy your evening. Hopefully, your Jags have a much better season.
No, not that good of a season. Now we don't need to be that good.
Now, listen, I have no horse in this race.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying. When the Jags,
I want to see Marcus to do well, because we have an excuse to bring him back on.
That's right, BT.
Listen, Houston won the division last 2 years. Ain't nobody. People like, it's Houston. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? CJ, congratulations. If the Jags start winning, Oh, hell. Here we go. I'm telling you, you don't want that train to get to going because the last thing you want is a confident Trevor Lawrence. When that boy get confident.
With the weapons? Oh.
Listen. They took one of their former receivers. They traded him to Houston. That's how we ain't scared of you, boy. What's going on in Houston? If I trade you within the division, I let you know we ain't scared of you.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying. I keep up with them Jags, man. I have to, man. I rep AFC South for life, man. So I know what it's like to be scratching and clawing, not just for the team you play for the whole division you represent. Sometimes you're doing it for that AFC South brand, but hey, man, if they the best team, so be it. And if the AFC South champs gonna be coming out of Duval County, then so be it, man. So be it.
Well, again, Marcus, it was a pleasure. It was a blast. We go definitely do this again. Obviously,
absolutely.
Hopefully we can get you and Ben connected on some things and get you guys working together on some things. And again, you guys have a great season, and we'll definitely do this again in the future, my friend.
Appreciate it, fellas. Real talk.
Right. All right, everyone. That was Marcus Pollard. That was a real fun one, guys. I know Ben's over here. He's got his cheese eating grin because I'm not going to say the other word right now. But that was a fun one. I knew as soon as I booked that one, Ben was like,
man.
"Oh, yeah, okay."
Marcus is a big fan of Marcus, man. Obviously, like I said, I wish I would have developed more of a rapport with him when I was playing. But you know how it is, Steven. When you in the business, the business takes hold and control of everything you're doing. But I'm happy to see him on these air. I told you, man, listen, for those of you who don't know, the Fan in the End is a place for, current players, former players, future players. We got a former player in Marcus. We got a future player in Justin Merriman. Listen, we got one of the most iconic players, Vince Papale. This is where you coming, man, if you want to get the hard-hitting conversation where we just talking life. You know what I'm saying? We talking football, talking family. And man, we just talk, we just having fun over here.
I got a surprise for you at the end because the company that you're doing the signing for at the end of the season put out a video on TikTok, and I know you're not on TikTok, but I seen some clip of yours. I'm gonna play it at the end of this episode.
All right.
Because you were talking about the Ole Miss, and the funny part is the clip is from the Ole Miss.
Okay.
I want to know I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about at this point in time, but me and you we got some words. Your Atlanta Braves are in some stuff. Last night. First off, Spencer, Spencer had a little problem before the game. Him and the bullpen coach had some Phillies fans thrown out of the game because he didn't like the words that were coming out of their mouth. Then we go into the actual game part of it, and first things he does is he plunks Bryce Harper. Now the word around all the Philadelphia sports media, obviously the game was rained out today. They're going to have a doubleheader, things of that nature. We missed the boxing match between the Fanatic and your Braves mascot down there. So that'll have to get redone too. But the word across the airwaves here in Philadelphia was retaliation. That there's going to have to be some old school baseball, and they're talking Ronald Acuna. I'm like, listen, I know Bryce Harper's our guy. He's one of the bigger faces of Major League Baseball over the last decade. Acuna just got off the injury list. Now, I don't want to see somebody get hurt, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. What are your feelings on this one about, obviously, I think everyone is in agreement that it's not purposeful, but location. That's the elbow that he had surgically repaired.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of feelings here in Philadelphia. And
I'm gonna say this. Spencer Strider is a guy that's definitely made a name for himself in a very, very short amount of time with the Braves and what he's been able to do. You don't hit Bryce Harper. I'm gonna say it like this. If you are gonna hit Bryce is not only the best player for the Phillies, he's one of the faces of the MLB. Let's just call it what it is. Mm-hmm. I believe in baseball justice. I don't believe in hitting him in elbows and arms. You got side for that. It's now. I'm not a fan of throwing at players either. I'm not a fan of it. But I'm gonna say this: Spencer Strider is gonna make life real hard for my Braves now, because Philly fans. Listen, I get it. People want to talk about, certain rivals in baseball. They want to talk about, they want to talk about the Dodgers and maybe, San Francisco or the Giants. They want to talk about Boston, in the Yankees. Phillies and listen, the NL East do not like top to bottom. They don't like each other. Top to bottom. I didn't like Bryce Harper when he was with the Nationals. I didn't like him when he came over to the Phillies. Didn't like his hair with the Nationals. Don't like it now. But I respect Bryce. Bryce Harper is a hell of a baseball player. And even in the biggest moments, he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he doesn't turn to the Casper, man. You can still see him. Spencer, be careful, man. Because baseball justice works like this. We hit your player according to who the player was. I'm not just going to hit a player. You hit Bryce, we'll hit Acuna now. Listen, I'm not saying you should. But for those of you who don't know, every time the Braves play the Marlins used to hit Ronald. I mean, they used to do this all the time. So it's game on. Because this is what happens, right? What you don't see, the pitchers come up to Bryce and they ask him, who you want? Oh, no, the pitcher don't get to pick. The player got hit get to pick. So if Bryce just happened to look up and Ronald Acuna smiling at him, he's hit him. What? Hit him. Because listen, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. And let me say this about baseball justice. I do think it's good for baseball because baseball everybody don't got a Bryce Harper. Everybody ain't got a Ronald Acuna or a Tatis Jr. or Juan Soto. Everybody ain't got them type of players. I get it. But if you hit my best player and I don't retaliate, I got to play with this dude. Bryce gonna be like, man, I don't want to hear y'all. So I think that listen, if there is a bench clearing brawl, I'm for it because we don't have enough of those in baseball. I mean, think about it. See, you got 100 or something games. Every 79th game is a brawl. Come on, man, give us a brawl. And I don't want the brawl to where somebody get hit and they point at the pitcher. No, you hit me, I'm charging them out. Let's go. Ain't no warnings. I don't want to hit it up. Nope. I'm for it. And I'd rather it be the Phillies because let's face it, man, ain't nobody worried about the Washington Nationals. The Mets are going to Met. Listen, Mets fans, haven't y'all got used to this? Oh, my God, this is the year. No, it is not.
We getting some love there. Appreciate the love, Jen. Appreciate you tuning in. We always try to bring
if something's gonna just like I know, Steven, something's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Listen. I think the Braves are thankful they got rained out tonight. They thankful because now they have a whole another 24 hours to think about this.
Now it's just brewing.
Yeah. And then I think now it's gonna be because I know Ranger Suarez, pitched a gem last night. I think that we get the ace on the mound, and it's gonna. I think he's definitely he's an old time the baseball mind. So it's somebody's getting plunked at some point. Especially as a doubleheader. Now the question is it going to be Major League Baseball doubleheader? Remember that? There's a brawl.
I mean, listen, I will say this: if you are the Phillies, you can't let this slide. Not just for this game, but every game after, because you got to let other teams know you hit Bryce, you're gonna get hit, or it's gonna be retaliation. Period. Period. Because Bryce Harper, like him, don't like him, Bryce Harper is incredible. Like Bryce Harper has done everything but win a World Series. Like he's done everything. Yeah. I mean, he's won MVPs. I mean, he got the best hair probably in sports. I mean, somewhere Patrick Mahomes, like his hair ain't better than mine. He's like, boy, he got a little flip. Bryce Harper can't wait for his helmet to come off so he can the ladies go. He do the little flip. He want to do the little flip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Bryce Harper is incredible. I mean, he was incredible with the Nationals. He's incredible with the Phillies. Bryce Harper got mad before he signed his new contract because somebody said something about you think you're going to get like $200 million. He was like $200 million. Like that's disrespectful. And back then I'm like, you think you'll get more? Yeah, man, I'm get like $400-500 million. God dog. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the retaliation. I hope it's not Ronald Acuna Jr. Maybe it's gonna be Olsen or somebody, or it's not gonna be Acuna though. But if it is, If it is, Steven, it would not be, it would not be wrong. So, I'm looking forward to that, though. I'm looking forward. Listen, let me check. Once again, people, we showing our loyalty. Steven, he is a Phillies fan. Yeah, he's a 76ers fan, right? That's how you do it, man. What's y'all hockey team? The Flyers?
Yep, the Philadelphia Flyers.
You got the Flyers, you got the Phillies, you got the Eagles, you got the 76ers. What do you mean who I root for?
We're talking about that. I came across this one. I almost feel bad for New York fans at this point in time because over the past 2 years now, you watch Saquon Barkley come to Philadelphia and raise a trophy. They watch the New York's real baseball team, the Mets. It ain't the Mets, it's the Yankees, right? The Yankees, What happened to them in the World Series? Oh, they got swept. Oh. And now the Pacers are putting belts to asses right now.
Yep.
So I do listen. We do have a real rivalry because they're the natural, direct descendant right over there. But you have to feel bad for them right now. Like everything that could be going wrong in New York is going wrong in New York.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know why? Let me tell you what. As a person that lived in New Jersey for about 5 years, had to work in New York. There is a level of arrogance and naive. No, forget that. There's a level of arrogance in New York that can only happen in New York. They are trash. That's a trash. And we talking about New York, not the whole state of New York, but New York, trash. We talking about the borough, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? Queens. Long Island, Yonkers, trash talkers. When the Knicks got with the Pacers, when the Knicks beat a, Jason Tatum-less Celtics, they were like, we don't care. Jason Tatum, I said, okay, go. Then here comes Tyrese. And I'm not talking about the singer people. I'm talking about Tyrese Halliburton. Listen, did the league really say he's not a superstar? Really? He's not. Well, who is? If he's not, you think Julius Randle is a superstar? You think Jalen Brunson is a superstar? They're not, right? I'm sorry, Julius Randle. That's a former Knick. Now he's over there with the Timberwolves, but he about to go home too.
I think I jinxed him right when I said
that.
Well,
it's like this. I don't know what the Knicks have done to deserve this, but they better undo it. I don't know what they said. They better unsay it because people be thinking, "Hey man, this is our window." If you listen, Stu Guys comes on talking about Reggie Miller is only good because of what he did against the Knicks. Are you Stu Guys said Reggie Miller is only good and famous because of those 9 seconds against the Knicks, and he said, and I quote, Reggie Miller better not make this Eastern Conference Finals about him. And guess what? When Halliburton went like this, when he did right?
I'm glad you brought up Reese Halliburton real fast because I got to touch on this. Me and you talked about this. We said it was the right move, right? Banning Pops from the games. Guess what? Pops is free.
So
I don't think they're going to allow him courtside. I think they're going to put him up in a box for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
But are you a fan? I think he's only served a 6-game suspension.
Yeah, I listen. I'm a fan for 2 reasons. One, Tyrese's dad understood the mistake that he made.
And he owned it.
He owned it against Giannis. He apologized publicly. He apologized to Giannis. Halliburton. I mean, Reese Halliburton. He even reached out to Giannis, and his daddy did something that great daddies do. He said, "Listen, Reese, I'm sorry. I didn't want to make your biggest moment thus far in your career about me. So I will take whatever the league or the Pacers decide to do. I will do it, and I'm not gonna do it begrudgingly. I'm not gonna do what Ja Morant dad probably would have done. He probably would have made it a lot more about himself. Listen, if you are the father of a famous son or daughter and you mess up, remember your kid, man. Remember, they're the one got to deal with it because you're a regular person with a famous kid, a famous child, a famous professional athlete. They ain't kids. That's your kid. They aren't a kid. So yes, number one, I'm happy that his dad served his suspension. That's gonna be the most lit booth in that arena. And I just like the fact that, like, when the Knicks finally get a chance to go back or get to go to the finals, who's gonna put you out? The Pacers. Listen, there is such greatness in sports, even if a lot of these young people right now were too young to understand the rivalry of the Knicks and the Pacers, like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Reggie Miller. You know, so I love it. I love that his dad is free. And I don't know, maybe Reese Halliburton daddy, maybe he invite Patrick Mahomes daddy. I mean, you want to go to the game? Sure, for real. Yeah, come on. I mean, I am happy for the Pacers because yes, the Knicks are great for ratings. Beautiful. The Knicks are one of the premier media darling teams in the NBA, whether they've been winning or not. You talk about Golden State, talk about Boston, you talk about the Knicks. But guess what? There's a young man by the name of Halliburton, Pascal Siakam. Remember him? Remember when he won the championship with Toronto? Who he played for? Oh, he played for the Pacers. So guess who? There's a former Pacers like what's that guy that played for this team for the 76ers? And he always getting hurt. He got a podcast. God, what is his name, man? I think they call him PG-13. Paul George. Yeah.
And I podcast this past week. He talking about how he was driving through Philadelphia during the parade, and they like we chose you over Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, and listen,
I love my fans, but man, like, listen, Tobias Harris's last game in Philadelphia, he had 2 points, and I think he was like 2 for 17 from the field. Listen.
I mean, let me tell you,
leave those comparisons alone. Yeah, PG had a bad season. Last season was filled with injuries. Even me, myself, I'm gonna just blow it all up. Blow the whole damn thing up. Just find what you can get, and you just blow it all up.
Listen, listen in the city of Philadelphia, no one wants to hear these words, right? Trust the process. Done with that. Done with the process. Ben Simmons. I mean, gone, done. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Even because guess what? James Harden done been through that. No. You don't want to hear it. But I am. Look, I am a fan of the NBA. I think it's great that the NBA has a lot of young superstars. For those people that said that Tyrese Halliburton is not a superstar, then what is? If he's not, no, just say I didn't expect a team from Indiana to be this good. Just say that. Don't say he's not a superstar, because here's the thing. If superstars don't win championships, who do? How do you think you become I got it. Right now he's on the verge of super. He'll start. He on the verge of superstar. What you think gonna do it? Going to the finals and winning it? Because he's gonna have to play OKC. People saying, well, I think Ant-Man is a superstar. Yeah, well, he gonna be a superstar watching from home.
Yeah, listen, like I said, I think I jinxed him. And thinking about superstars from home. Did you hear what happened down in Tampa this week?
No, well,
he doing it again. He doing it again. Listen, the Eagles dodged a bullet with Hassan Reddick. We already seen the nonsense from last season. He's not showing up to OTAs. And then the coach is like, oh, well, he'll be here at some point. Listen, man, after what he did last season, if you weren't there for the organized team activities, you're not there for we got problems.
A lot of them. I mean, number one. When people get to ask, hey man, why do we keep just letting people, with bad attitudes, bad karma for the team. We keep rewarding them with new contracts. And number one, I think he signed like a 1 year, $14 million. I did like $12 million guarantee. Let me tell you something. Fool me once, shame on me. Shame on me. Fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's like Tybo's. Number one, you better look at why he was good, not that he was good. Wasn't he with the Eagles? So he got a chance to be a part of a good defensive line, and he benefited from the D line that was next to him and the defense that was around him, the culture that he was around. He went to Temple, didn't he? That boy been in Philly his whole life. Then all of a sudden, hey, well, I'm gonna say this: Ty Bowles, yeah, you better hope he show up. You better hope he does, because if he doesn't, you call the Jets, ask them about him. They said we can't really tell you about him. I ain't seen him. I ain't seen him to tell you about him. You know what, Hassan? They say Hassan Reddick had like $21 million for something crazy in fines. Let me tell you something, people. If growing up all you ever want to do is be an NFL player, you finally start making millions and you don't show up. Not only did you show up, I mean, your previous team don't got nothing good to say about you. He said, man, maybe you need to change the scenery. Yeah, you need to go from cold weather city to a hot weather city. Well, he don't like the heat either. He don't like the humidity because he ain't. And with Ty Bosa, he'll be here eventually. What does that even mean? He'll be here eventually. Eventually could be 2026. Hey, listen, there are two players I would never ever understand that walked away from money. Le'Veon Bell missed a whole year with the Pittsburgh Steelers to prove a point. He didn't prove one, by the way, because he ended up with the Jets, and his career, you saw his career ended up. Hassan Reddick, what is it about the Jets, man? I mean, Le'Veon Bell went to the Jets. I mean, his career never was the same. Hassan Reddick, listen, just say you don't want to play football. I don't want to play football no more. No, Hassan Reddick, let's call it what it really is. Hassan Reddick wanted to resign. He wanted to be a Philadelphia Eagle for life. And it didn't work out. For some reason, it didn't work out. It happened.
Howie ain't stupid. He's not gonna pay those guys those big contracts, especially after what happened in 2017 when we got to keep this core back. We got to do this. We got to do that. And he gave contracts that he probably shouldn't have, and it hurt him. So it was one of those things where, like, I think he's already said it. Like, if you want to get paid, the Philly ain't the way.
I mean, I'm just saying. First round pick by the Arizona Cardinals, then played for the Carolina Panthers for a year. Then came over to the Eagles from 2023 season. They got 2024 with the Jets. They should have put an asterisk around there. He didn't play for the Jets 2024. Now they got signed 2025. Hey man, I mean, you know. Listen, I hope he does show up, Steven, but then who is he when he does show up? That's the thing. Okay, you ain't seen him, then he shows up, then he looking you got to pay him $12 million fully guaranteed. Boy. Well, we'll see
how that one plays out. We're gonna see how that one. And speaking of seeing how things have played out, obviously, you know, I got to touch on this again. The WNBA nonsense.
Yeah.
Now, Caitlin Clark is hurt. She's gonna miss 2 weeks, and the prices are already dropping for the games that were supposed to be. It was one of the games was again supposed to be against the Chicago Sky. It is now not gonna be in the big arena. They're moving it down, and the tickets have now dropped to $25 for that game because Caitlin Clark ain't gonna be there. But the other side of that was what's going on this past week, because after the game, after the foul, after all the nonsense with RG3 and Ryan Clark, that Miss Angel Reese went out there and said that the Indiana fans were hurling racial slurs and things of that nature. The league goes and does an investigation, and surprise, surprise, what do they don't find? There was no racial slurs being yelled at. I think Angel Reese is running really thin on her passes at this point in time, and I'd be if I'm someone around her, I'd be like, listen, girl, you just need to concentrate on what's going on the floor. All that extra stuff is hurting you. She did nothing but hurt the brand this week.
Yeah,
good, brother, good.
No, I'm gonna say, yeah. The thing about Angel Reese is this: do I think she's gonna get a lot a lot of hate from people? Yes. Do I think he's going to get a lot of animosity from fans? Yeah. Now, some of that are just fans being fans. But when you start talking about racism and racial slurs, you have to, because the WNBA, because of who she is, they got to take it serious. So you know it's going to be investigation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it should, regardless.
Now, here, the investigation's got to warrant it. And like I said, I think Angel Reese and that front office, that team, that coaching staff, they're going to have to insulate her and say, listen, Angel, you're going to have to develop a lot of thick skin because you have
to get heavy.
Exactly. Whether you wanted it to be like this or not, people look at you as a villain. Whether you are a villain or not. Because guess what? People look at Caitlin Clark as a villain, right? But she's embraced it. She's saying, look, I get it, but this is what happens. This is the cost of being one of the faces of your league. Is Angel Reese the best player in the WNBA? No, that's Aja Wilson. Who's the most important WNBA player? That's Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the most important women's basketball player in the world. Angel Reese, I said, listen, your play better start speaking for you because right now it's the headlines. It's everything but the game, and you don't want to. I know you're not an antic, and I know you're not a gimmick, and I know you're not a sideshow, but you better start balling because then it's going to become a part. It's going to be about everything but the game. So, yeah, you got to take those type of things serious, man, and I think they are. But, Angel, just be careful, man, because like I say, you ask LeBron or you ask Sue Bird or Diana Taurasi or Cheryl Swoops and all these great players that came through, Shamika Holesclaw. They know this. If you're a great player, the hate is built in. And now, because everything has cameras everywhere, someone says something, and somebody gonna tell Angel, listen, yeah. You can't, I'm not saying you just said it, but remember, what you say holds weight, and what you say, depending on what you say, will be investigated. And when it is investigated, we gonna believe the investigation. Like we have to. So yeah, look, Caitlin Clark being hurt, that's gonna hurt ratings. Bad, like real bad.
Yep.
But yeah, Angel, man, be careful out there, man. Like I say, man, everybody think they want it till they get it. And when you get it, you know what I'm saying, it ain't what you thought. Just go hoop, shorty. Just go hoop. Because I think she's on a new team now.
Right.
So just gotta go hoop.
Let's put all this, because listen, I want to see the WNBA succeed. I want to see these girls being put on a better level. So let's just put all the extra BS aside. Go play basketball. Continue to do your things. Unfortunately, you lose your Batman for a few weeks. She's going to be down for an injury, but I still think there's something positive that can come out of this. Hopefully, we don't continue to see this line of way of going about things. But
yeah,
I did promise you something at the end. It's a 12-second clip. Appreciate the guys at J&B Athletics for finding this clip. Mr. Ben Troupe is a very humble man. We got to see that he ain't that humble. He was putting it on Ole Miss right here. Let's give this a look.
There's the snap. League dropping back, throws underneath. He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10. Hurdles a man, spins to the 5. Oh my! Still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line. He's gonna score! He's gonna score!
The memories. I will say this, man. That play is what I'm known for the most in my college career. It happened so fast, man. The guy blitzed. I just replaced the guy. They said use replace the guy. I was hot. Chris Lee caught me. I just started running. I run across the field. I saw the guy jumped over. When I jumped over the guy and I came down, somebody hit me, but I didn't. Usually I'm expecting to fall. I'm like, oh, I'm still up. But when I got hit, I'm facing the other way. I'm like, wait a minute. So I got the guy off me. And hey, man, there's a shout out to OJ Small, my former teammate and roommate my freshman year, and Kelvin Kite, former Lithonia boy. That was they did their part. I get asked about that play, not every day, but every time people get to ask me about who I played for and when I played. So, hey man, I appreciate those Ole Miss defenders, man, giving me a chance to make. I think it made back when they had Sports in the Top plays. I made Sports in the Top play. Lost that game though. Thanks a lot, Eli. Man. Thanks a lot, Eli.
As we're into the last minute here, last 50-some seconds here, great show today. Had to put multiple smiles on Mr. Ben Troupe's face today. The interview with Marcus, the topics, and then ending it with that. Guys, make sure you're locked in on the program. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share it, and continue to show us some love here on the South Florida Tribune Media Network. We will be back next week. We got a whole bunch of fun interviews lined up this weekend as far as the real and the rare. Other than that, I'm Steve. He's Ben. This was another episode of The Fan in the End. We'll catch you guys next week, my friends. Peace out.